Hey fellow tennis nerds, I hope all is well. Today I wanted to talk about tennis outfits, apparel, clothes, whatever you want to call it. It's a topic I haven't covered much on Tennis Nerd, but it's quite fascinating, and there are some truly iconic outfits worn by pro players that I'm gonna go through a few in the end of the video, both the best and the worst. And if you have any suggestions here, I'm keen to hear in the comments, and we can do a follow-up at some point, because there are some horrendous outfits over the years, because you have to take risks in fashion to stand out, so makes sense. And there's some pretty good ones as well, so it all depends on your personal preference and matter of taste. But what I want to know from you is, do you buy your tennis clothes based on what you see on TV or your favorite player, or do you just go for whatever? What's your take on how important this is? And it would be interesting to hear from pro players how it works for them when they get, for example, a collection that they don't like. The top pros can probably influence the collection a bit earlier in the process, but for most of them, I think they just get the current batch and need to wear that according to the sponsorship agreement. And talking about agreements, for a lot of pros, it's based on their performance, especially with the bigger brands. So if they don't perform, they might be getting less money or being, removed from the sponsorship. So it's really based on how they're doing. So it can be an extra stress on them, of course. And we've seen a lot of apparel changes this year. It's already been a few, and I wanted to talk about them. I've talked about them in my previous videos about pro player gear changes. I've done 2 now. This is kind of the 3rd one on the topic, but we're focusing mainly on the clothes. I'm going to do more about rackets because I know you like that stuff. And if you have anything that I've missed, please let me know in the comments below. Apparel changes, I've talked already about Matteo Berrettini. He's gone to Hugo Boss. Looks pretty cool. He's also gone to A6 or A6 or however you pronounce it. And he's wearing Gel Resolution 8 from what I heard from different sources. His girlfriend and WTA pro Ayla Tomjanovic, she has moved from K-Swiss to an American sportswear brand called Penguin. US Open finalist Leila Fernandez, she's gone from A6 to Lululemon, Canadian luxury sportswear brand. Hugo Humbert is now with Lacoste instead of Wilson, makes sense because he's French. Martin Fucsovic went from Hungarian streetwear label DRK to Hydrogen. Julia Putintseva is now with K-Swiss. Clara Tauson, Danish talent, has moved from Yonex to Adidas. Monfils, as I've talked about in the previous videos, went from A6 to Artengo. Christian Garin is now with Emporio Armani. So there's a trend that there is more competition on this market. Nike and Adidas, we used to see them everywhere. I think it's a little bit more rare now. Adidas is still going strong, but Nike I've seen less. I think they're focusing on team sports mainly. That's what I've heard. And there are some truly iconic Nike outfits from Serena and Andre Agassi and so on that we're going to have a look at. I mean, you remember Roger before he moved to Uniqlo was wearing Nike as well. So, and Rafa, so many iconic outfits from that brand, but it seems to have lost a little bit of its stronghold of tennis. So fun to see these new brands coming in. So more of that to come probably. But let's have a look through some of the outfits I found and remembered from watching a lot of tennis when I grew up. And the first one is Andre Agassi with his famous shorts and interesting glasses, kind of Oakley style glasses. His Nike outfits were pretty outstanding in many ways, and good for the time. A brand that I sometimes wear in my videos, Volet, small American brand, they do these retro tribute outfits. So if you're interested in wearing stuff like this, check out volet.com. It's run by my friend. So we have Serena. She's always wearing something interesting. This one, I'm not sure about myself. It looks very weird to me, but you have to stand out, like I said, in fashion. There have been some other kind of full-on outfits like this one from Anne White. Not the most flattering thing ever, to be honest. One of my personal favorites is the old Fila wear from Bjorn Borg. You've seen that. That's truly iconic. We have a few outfits that some people rank as the worst. I've seen Sasha's old Adidas outfit. Wasn't maybe the best. Fognini, he tried to inspire the American audience with his US Open outfit some years back. And one player that we see a lot is Bethany Mattek-Sands. She has her own clothing brand now, I think. But yeah, this one wasn't going to the history books as something that looked great, in my opinion. Federer has worn great stuff and bad stuff. Rafa has been showing his guns for most of his career, meaning his muscles. Some iconic outfits there with the pied length pants. The outfits I like the most are his small, kind of all blacked out, more subtle outfits. I think that work for him, or something with a strong color. Wimbledon, you always have to wear white, as you know, and a bowler hat like Jimmy Connors here. No, you don't have to wear that, but almost. And his legendary T2000, or is it a 3000? It looks like a 2000. Djokovic has had his share of apparel sponsors. Maybe the Sergio Tacchini one was the best one. Now they're pretty safe with the Lacoste, but not bad. Stan the man, he rarely dazzles you with his outfit, but one of his most famous items of clothing were these really ugly shorts. They became famous and he won the French Open wearing them, so pretty interesting stuff there. Iconic for many reasons. Thomas Berdych, he was sponsored by H&M while he was still active, and got some criticism for some really horrendous outfits. One of them here, yeah, they weren't the best, in my opinion at least. Roddick wore some decent ones, but this one was probably his worst. It's a Reebok, I think. And Camila Giorgi has worn something pretty weird at times, and I think she designs her own clothes. Some of them are probably good. What are your favorites? Which are some of the worst, in your opinion? If you want to post something on Instagram, you can always tag me and I'll reshare it as a part of this fun video. I think this topic is pretty interesting and pretty harmless in many ways. And do you really care about what the pros wear, and how much does that influence what you buy? Also keen to know that, and it will be interesting to see what people will wear in the Australian Open. Let's have a look at that later on. And that's it about the apparel for now. I hope you found it entertaining. If you want to support the work I do, check me out on patreon.com/tennisnerd, or by buying something from my affiliates. The links are in the description. Big thanks if you do. Please also subscribe to the channel. That helps a lot. Have a nice day now, and don't forget to play some tennis.